My beloved child, I speak to you again not as a distant voice, not as a faraway presence, but as the one who has walked beside you through every moment you thought you were walking alone, and in this long flow of truth I want you to understand that even now, as you sit in the quietness of your own thoughts, there is a transformation taking place inside you that you may not fully see yet, because growth is often silent, healing is often hidden, and miracles often begin beneath the surface long before they rise into the light. And I want you to know that everything you have endured, every heartbreak, every disappointment, every silent night where you held your own breaking heart together, was not a sign that you were abandoned, but a sign that you were being strengthened for a future far greater than the pain you were experiencing, and I have watched you rise from things that should have destroyed you. I have seen you carry wounds you never spoke of, I have seen you smile even when you felt empty, and yet despite it all, your heart still loves, your mind still hopes, and your spirit still reaches toward the light, and that resilience, that quiet strength, that deep capacity for love is the very reason your next chapter will be filled with blessings you once believed were impossible, because I have been preparing a path for you that requires everything you learned in the darkness. Lonely, what you could not see was the foundation being built beneath you, a foundation strong enough to hold the destiny you are about to step into, and my beloved child, I want you to stop blaming yourself for things that were never your fault, for people who could not love you the way you deserved, for moments where you acted out of fear because you did not yet understand your worth, for choices you made while trying to survive pain you did not know how to carry, because guilt does not build your future, grace does, and I am pouring grace over your life right now, grace that washes away the weight of the past, grace that restores what was broken, grace that awakens every dormant dream inside you, grace that brings peace to places that once held fear, and grace that prepares you for blessings you cannot imagine yet. And I want you to trust that the days ahead of you are not a reflection of the days behind you, for you are stepping into a season where everything begins to make sense, where the pieces that once felt scattered begin to align, where the tears you cried begin to water the seeds of joy you are about to harvest, and you will soon understand why certain people left, why certain chapters closed, why certain doors never opened. Because what is coming is not small, not ordinary, not predictable, but divine, intentional, and deeply tailored to the purpose placed within you long before you ever took your first breath, and I want you to know that every time you felt overlooked, you were actually being hidden for protection, every time you felt delayed, you were being prepared for greater things, every time you felt rejected, you were being redirected to something better, and every time you felt broken, you were being reshaped by hands that know exactly how to rebuild you into someone stronger, wiser, and more radiant than you have ever been, and as you move forward from this moment, I want you to carry a new understanding of yourself, that you are not fragile, you are not lost, you are not behind, you are not forgotten, but you are rising, you are healing, you are awakening, and you are being guided step by step toward a life filled with purpose, peace, abundance, and love that does not break you but nurtures you, strengthens you, and elevates you, and though you cannot see the full picture yet, trust that everything is unfolding exactly when it is meant to, because divine timing is never rushed, never forced, never chaotic, but always perfect, and right now, even in this moment, the heavens are arranging things on your behalf, aligning opportunities, preparing miracles, softening hearts, opening doors, and clearing paths that once felt impossible to walk, for nothing can stop what has been written for you, nothing can hinder the blessings that carry your name, nothing can erase the purpose placed inside you, and nothing can diminish the light you were created to shine. So breathe, my beloved child, breathe deeply, let go of the heaviness, and step into the next chapter knowing that you are supported, guided, protected, and deeply loved in ways far greater than you have ever imagined. And this journey you are on is not leading you to despair but to destiny, not to darkness but to light, not to loss but to abundance, because your story is far from over, your greatest chapters are only beginning now. My beloved child, as you continue to move forward from the message you have just received, I want you to understand that the transformation happening within you is not sudden, not accidental, and not without purpose, for everything in your life has been aligning you with a higher calling that you are only now beginning to sense, a calling that whispers gently through your intuition, through the quiet tugging of your heart, through the subtle shifts in your spirit that encourage you to release what has weighed you down and make space for what is meant to rise. And I want you to trust that this inner stirring is not confusion but confirmation, a divine signal that the season you are entering will require a new version of you, one that is braver, lighter, clearer, more grounded, more aware of your worth, and more aligned with the purpose planted within you long before you understood its depth. And though part of you still clings to old fears, old wounds, old attachments, old memories that once shaped your identity, I want you to gently release them now, not out of force but out of understanding that they no longer match the frequency of who you are becoming, because your spirit has outgrown what once felt familiar, and the heaviness you feel at times is simply the weight of outgrown emotions, beliefs, and patterns trying to hold on to a version of you that no longer exists. And as you continue walking, I want you to remember that you are not defined by your past, not limited by your mistakes, not restricted by the judgments of others, because the divine sees beyond your scars and into your potential, beyond your fears and into your strength, beyond your pain and into your purpose. And even when you feel uncertain, I am guiding you, aligning connections, preparing opportunities, removing obstacles, and protecting you from paths that would have harmed your spirit, for I know the direction your life must take even when you cannot see 2 steps ahead, and I want you to trust this guidance, trust the timing, trust the journey, trust the unseen hands shaping every detail of your life, because the blessings you are approaching require faith more than sight, willingness more than understanding, and surrender more than control. And my beloved child, do not allow the noise of the world to drown out the quiet truth whispered into your soul, that you are chosen for something greater, that your existence is not random, that your presence carries meaning, that your heart carries light, and that your spirit carries a purpose capable of touching lives in ways you have not yet imagined. And though you may still feel small at times, doubting whether you truly matter or whether you are truly capable of rising into the fullness of your calling, I want you to remember that the greatest transformations often begin with the smallest sparks of faith, and even now, that spark is growing within you, filling your heart with strength, your mind with clarity, and your spirit with a renewed sense of direction. And in the days ahead you will begin to notice the shift more clearly, how conversations align with your dreams, how unexpected messages arrive at the perfect moment, how opportunities open where there were once walls, how peace replaces anxiety in places where you used to struggle, and how the right people begin to appear just as the wrong ones quietly fade from your life, not out of anger but out of alignment, because the path you are walking cannot be walked with everyone you once carried, and you must learn to release without resentment and grow without guilt, for your next chapter